Greetings and welcome back everyone to Oxygen Not Included, where we have finished planting all of our new food plants. I've also added in a new gas vent just to try and push some of the CO2 out of that area, and additionally I have added in a couple of new gas permeable tiles. Now these was a stifled. That's a little bit of a worry. Perhaps then I shouldn't have this? Maybe I should. Maybe I need to enforce that these rooms are effectively isolated from the others. That's a bit of a problem though for this one, because I do want oxygen to be moving around. That's not ideal, I'll be honest with you. I guess I could go ahead and pop this in here as well. We'd have a separate gas pipe then leading into here, like so. But in this room, that does create a bit of an issue, I'll be honest. But at least gas can move through these doors. We'll see how that pans out. Now, I have begun the process of leading up here to get a new vent. And we've got some morbs. These are fantastic. These are exactly what we need. Exactly what we need. Because they consume any gas that isn't oxygen. It might actually consume pure oxygen. I'm not sure about that one, though. But they consume any gas and turn it into contaminated oxygen. Now, contaminated oxygen could then be put through the odorizer and turned into regular oxygen. I mean, you're losing mass through this process, but overall, that's not going to be a terrible thing to do. So let's get things moving. Yeah, we pretty much run low of our algae supplies. That is a situation. What we can do, however, is over here, dig across, and then gather all of this. In fact, we'll make that a high priority for now. Very high priority. There we go. Let's get that done. As soon as you guys wake up, I want that on the go. Because then we're going to dig this little bit down and then just have water trailing in and then running down into the lower area over there. That should work fine for us. In fact, I could just go ahead and begin that job. Maybe I won't actually. We'll wait until we've got the algae. Because if I start it now, then it's going to just lead to terribleness. But we do need the algae coming in. Power-wise, really hurting. Until we get the hydrogen generator set up, that is going to be an issue. So, yeah, as much as I don't want to, as much as I think this is a potentially bad idea, let's go ahead and build one coal generator. And we'll see what we can do with that. Run that up there and across. We are going to want to hook it up to the mains, so something like that, I would say. There we go, and deconstruct this. And of course, get this little area built in as well, in the same theme that we do everything else. I will allow the CO2 just to move up. I'm not going to put an airlock there. I could, but I don't think that would necessarily be a good thing. We've got a reasonable amount of food right now. We're not hurting for food, but we are hurting for atmospheric pressure. Oh wow, look at the CO2 now moving around. All because that is shut down. So that now being active will help out a bit, but whew, that was nasty. That was very nasty. We might actually want to shut that down then, because that is an awful lot of pressure that this is creating, but it's a very inefficient way of doing it. Stupendously inefficient way of doing it, in fact. Now, if you guys can get on with your work down here, let's move all of this to 7s then. Yeah, that's... well, was that... did I move everything to 7? No, I did... oh, those are apparently not going to be changed? Okay, well, whatever. We will have sweep orders on everything in here, though, on a 7. Let's get that moving. Now, right now, one of the problems is there's just not... well, there's plenty of water, actually. I don't know what that issue is, then. What's the gas pressure in here? Pretty good. Maybe I need 2 gas pumps. I wouldn't have thought I did, but perhaps I do. Yeah, it's actually starting to look like I really do need 2 gas pumps. And this seems to be pushing the gas fast enough. And this is just slowing it down, I guess. Let's see what would happen if I flat up built a second one though. Let's see what would happen if I just flat up built a second. So gas pump right over there. Gas pipe just running across. And then power as well. From the same source. Across there. I'm hoping that that'll all be close enough for it to happen. I want this work done stupendously fast because I don't want you having to be in that room for over long. Right, okay, let's see. I hope we got a super mega duplicant. Medicine I'm not really kidding. Wow. Now that is nice. But the narcoleptic part really puts me off. You're amazing. But again, the narcoleptic part really puts me off. Also, your decor expectations are fantastically high because of your high skill. So I'm going to say reject all on that one. We'll just go it for now and see what we can do. Big Zone and Kororo both need a chill out session. So, Big Zone and Kororo, go chill out. Sleepy Joe, Bantham, you can inherit their rooms for the time being. It's Fiery. This is Lolash. Science Man. Metaceline. You don't want to take her room, she would kill you. Bantham's now. And Kororo goes to Sleepy Joe. There you go. We are managing things. There we go. Let's just get this room set up, please. I guess the issue here is actually the power more than anything. Right, so with that said, let's get this stuff done as well. That's all set up. I'm not going to bother taking this down. There's really no reason to. Let's actually see if that's made any difference in the amount going out of it. Not really, I've got to be honest. It just seems to be backing up the pipe. Like, there's loads more gas going in than there's coming out. Is this gas... Let's actually have a look. How much gas is going in? 500 grams. Whereas this is... let's see, where are you? Gas pipe contents empty. Oh, it's 750 grams of oxygen. Okay, so it's pumping more out than it's going. Okay, that's fair enough then. That's where that's coming. That's where the slowdown is coming from. It's condensing it to a higher pressure in the pipe. Yep, I would say we do in fact need that to be gathered, so go ahead and gather it. And there as well. It doesn't look like the CO2 actually bothers these plants even in the slightest bit. Which is fine, frankly. But, I mean, it sucks whenever someone has to go in there and try and gather from it. There we go. Make that a 7, please. There we go. So that should be loaded up with coal. Maybe even coal from our pet hatch. Who knows? For the time being, we've got enough issue with CO2 that I'm going to build a manual airlock there. This place is going to be horrible. But, you know, at least it won't make the rest of the base horrible. I'll make that a 7 then. There we go. Let's make sure we've got plenty of this gathered. Like that. There we are. Okay, stress is coming down. Big Zone still the most stressed. Kororo second stress, so that's fine. Time being then, reasonably okay with what's going on there. How are things happening around the rest of the base? Gas is moving out, that's good. It's reasonably breathable. That actually isn't so good in there at all. Oh, okay, fair enough. Doesn't seem too terribly bad, but over here, okay-ish. These ones are terrible, though. The O2 in there is absolutely garbage. Okay, so I really don't want to have to be splitting these pipes off any more than I already am, but it seems that I'm going to have to around this area. Either that, or I need to allow the oxygen to move around in here. I mean, now that we've locked that off, this might be more manageable, I don't know. But we could let the O2 move up, and the CO2 to move down. Okay, we'll give that a shot, shall we? We'll see what we can do with that. And then we'll upgrade it a little bit. but I've got a funny feeling this is going to make things worse. But, you know, we're for sciencing. I'm assuming that you guys are here because you're part of some sort of science expedition. I can't imagine that they've sent a people printer to some asteroid for a non-sciencey reason. Refuse to believe such a thing. Okay. Well, Lolash, that does indeed suck. You just sat there like, I can't breathe. But oh well. Oh well, says I. Okay, people are generally alright at the top. Let's get these gas pumps in there so that CO2 can just drop down and the O2 can move up. There we are. Let's get all of this done. And finish, please. No? Okay. That is not amazing, I've got to be honest. Can we please get those on the go? You've got to go so far to get the materials here. That does, in fact, suck. Could we perhaps get these at higher priority, like right now? Breathable, content empty. Why are they not building these? Is it perhaps because of the things on top of them? Can't imagine that being the case, but perhaps. I mean, they're idle, and I can only assume we've got them the necessary components for it. Okay, let's cancel these then. Cancel them for the moment. Yeah, there's copper in there. Okay, let's make them a 9 then. No. 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 No, that's not what I wanted. Stupid. Me, that is. I am stupid. There we go. Please get these working. If I have to, I will have to just break them down and rebuild all this stuff, but I really prefer not to. Are we going to be able to get that built? Come on. Come on. And there we go. Fantastic. I was a little bit concerned there. A little bit concerned how broken gas. There we are. So the CO2 can move down, hopefully. And that'll keep the gas pressure correct, hopefully. We'll have to see, though. Okay, so what else is going on in the rest of the base? You're actually building at the moment, which is nice to see. Okay. We could happily continue this construction. I mean, power doesn't seem to be the worst thing, but let's see where our batteries are. No, our batteries are good since we built the coal generator. So, have we pulled everything out of there that we can? It looks like we might have, which is a bit of a problem. That does imply that one of the issues for us right now then is storage. So, let's get that sorted, shall we? Build that across. There we go. And dig this area out. We'll have a very big storage chunk. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure. Let's make this a massive centralized storage area, and we can have some nice decorations around it as well if we really want to. We'll make this a 6 so we can get it done quickly. There we go. How's everyone doing now? Yeah, people are generally de-stressing. Good. Good, good, good. Glad to see it. We do need to harvest a little bit more, though. And soon, very soon, frankly, I need to start building more rooms. In fact, perhaps we could build them... I don't know about that. But there's a little part of me that's like, yeah, this will be fine. We could build some rooms over here. No, I don't mind. It's scenic, one might say. One would be lying if one said it, but one could say it. Down there, coal. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's getting quite a high density of CO2 in there, but it's fine. I really wish this would create enough pressure to push this CO2 out, though, but we're not getting enough oxygen moving to do that, it seems. Not nearly enough. I'm thinking we need a lot more pumps, actually, and I wasn't expecting that. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't expecting that we would need more pumps than this. No, it really doesn't look like we're pushing that much. 750. How much is going in from both of them? I think it is just... No, it's 125 grams of oxygen there. So yeah, it probably isn't that far off. We've got a decent amount there. I could build more pumps, but I don't think that's necessarily going to improve the situation. I think what might improve the situation is have more electrolyzers to produce more oxygen in there. So, because if you get up to around here, well, actually, no. That being said, The oxygen is still really heavily concentrated in all of these places. A little bit less concentrated over on this side, but then that's basically in a corner, so it makes sense. So maybe it is the gas. Maybe it is our capacity to pump it out that's the problem here, not our capacity to produce it. That being said, I'm a little bit surprised. I'm not very certain that this is producing enough, but sure, I mean, I've got 3 of them producing it. Let's have a look at our reports. What are we actually producing? Oxygen generation. We're producing a lot more than we're using. So I would say then that perhaps it is an issue of just moving it out faster. We could. At the very least we could see what it does, see if it changes something. Let's cancel that. We're going to want some more gas pumps then. So one more. I'm going to put it in the middle though. One more there. The gas pipe running down from the top, as well as some electricity running down from the top as well. And we'll see how this goes. Reconstruct you if I can. We are going to need a ladder there and possibly one there. I'm not sure. We'll see. How's everything going in there? Come on then. Need some more. There we go. Looks like you got everything you needed. There we go. So we just need these last 2 pipes and we're sorted. We're letting out a fair bit of hydrogen while we're doing the work in here, but just the way that's going to be. Right, we don't need that then, and nor do we want this anymore. So you can go ahead and get rid of that one. Now I'm not too worried about the hydrogen escaping because it's going to move up, and eventually it'll get caught by our hydrogen pump at the top. There we go. I'm going to prioritize all of this be done. Then I'm going to prioritize... Yeah, you know what? Let's get it all going. Let's get the whole thing done as fast as we can for now. Yeah, that's going to stop pumping in any moment. So we do need to work on that too. I'm afraid I'm probably going to just dismiss this duplicant unless we find someone who's amazing. Can't dig it in mouth breather. Not sure about that one. We don't need anyone with high creativity right now. Though, I guess... No. We'll reject for now until we've got beds for the ones that we've got. I don't want any more. Right, okay, so raw mineral, raw metal, filtration medium, consumable ore, and then pretty much we'll have cultivatable soil, everything but organic and seed, everything but organic and seed, everything organic and seed, and everything but organic and seed. There we go. That should be good. There's no point in storing seeds or algae specifically because, as we can see, we're not even remotely reaching the maximum of our storage for those things. No point at all to do it. Now, if we can quickly get all of this sorted out, then I can continue up there and connect. Let's let all of this happen as fast as we can, please. Let's get all that done. We could get all of this out. Sure, okay. Because I like things to be tidy. Damn it. But yeah, we are going to need these mobs, especially if we actually let this chlorine get up near the pumps. I'm not sure what would happen. I think the gas pump would just pump it down into the hydrogen generator and then it wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't go anywhere. It would just be consumed by the generator, which didn't use it. But I could be very wrong about that. Why is that one not getting anything? Overpressurized. Oh, I see. So we really don't need it over here then, is what you're saying. Disable building. Turn off that gas vent. Let's get that one sorted, please. Is it still going to go there? Yes, apparently it is. It does not care. Not even the remotest bit does it care. I'd have to just completely break it down then. Okay, it's just a gas vent, I guess. Let's break that down, make sure more oxygen gets to the rest of the areas. But yeah, it's starting to look like it's really clearing up down here, actually. I'm really happy to see that. There we go. Getting everything swept up from down here. How is everything? In fact, these are the bits that I want swept first, because then I can just start pumping everything else in. We just need to move the water at this point, frankly. Prioritize for these. You can finish up that. Ah, damn it. Let's just hope the hydrogen doesn't move through. We'll leave this place sealed off because I want to get this part done. So the reason why I want to dig this out right now is because I'm going to build a wall here just so that we don't have an issue with any water going the wrong direction. We are going to actually have to set up water filtration very soon to turn all the contaminated water that's around the map into purified water. It won't be a problem for us, but we actually need to do it really soon because I've let the ball drop a little bit with how I've prioritized work, unfortunately. But we're far from a point where that's unrecoverable. Very far from a point where that's unrecoverable. Last little bits, come on. Damn it, don't stop working now. Is that overpressurized? Yes, it is. Okay, well, let's have a look at that. So, what does an overpressurized vent mean, anyway? Does it just mean that the pressure coming out is too high? Like, it's having trouble pushing the air out into the vent? Or does it mean that there's... that the vent can't handle the throughput of air that it's getting? I have no idea. What's the breathable air over here? It's actually going down reasonably fast. I don't understand what that is. So if anyone in the comments happens to know, then do let me know. I would really appreciate that. Right, okay, so we're finished down here. Good. Let's get the last little bits done then. Actually, I'm going to make this an 8 because it's that important. And then we're going to also dig that away. And dig these two away. We're going to dig up a little bit around there. Let's make these all priority. And you know what? Do everything as an 8. We need to hook up this room right now. Right now. Because this is fully shut down now. We're not pushing any more liquid into the base, and that's going to very quickly get completely used up. This is fine. That'll work for a long time by itself. But we do need to get this water moving again. There are plenty of algae. Insufficient resources over here, though. You know what? I think we're going to disable this building for the time. I'm not going to break it down, but we'll disable it for the time being and see how things go. Lolash is mega stressed. Let's get you down there, Lolash. And who else is mega stressed? Fiery is mega stressed. Let's get you over there as well. Where are you, Fiery? There you go. Go and take care of yourself for a bit, please. Let's get these dug out. And then... bomb. Like so. And we'll prioritize these as 8s. These as 7s. There we go. Should be able to get this sorted fairly quickly. And... oh, no. Apparently not. There's other things that are a higher priority, it seems. I'm not sure where they would be, but... apparently they are... oh, wow. You went through? You scallywags! Alright, I'll get that sorted then as well. This will have to be an 8 then in order to make sure it happens. Actually, no. Why am I letting this be 7? This should be 6. I mean, I know I want it done fast, but it's not that important. It shouldn't be taking priority over my important machines, certainly. That was a massive mistake on my part there. Right, the sand has fallen. Good. Let's break through. Can you not reach it? That's fine. Doesn't look like we need to anyway. So this will finally get down there, and then... oh, actually we didn't. We didn't, in fact, lose out there. Got close, but there shouldn't be much of a break, if any break at all. Because this was... it seems reasonably high pressure. Yeah, very high pressure. Okay, so we've got water moving again. Good, 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 good. No break in our breathability. I am pleased. And this should fill up, you know, reasonably well. Once that's done, we can actually build across. I'll build a little ways across and just encourage this to drain down. Then we can hit this oxalite over there, and also grab the little bits of algae there too. That'll work out quite well. Oh, there's a mealwood plant growing down there. That's rather awesome. Carbon dioxide in there is not particularly nice though. I could build a scrubber. I'm not going to worry about it for now, actually. I don't think I need to worry about it for now. Actually, that being said, these rooms do vent down. Well, they should, at any rate. So, yeah, I am going to make a scrubber in here. Let's have a look. Do I have that? A scrubber. Filters carbon dioxide and removes it from the air. So, yeah, let's just pop you right about there at the bottom, where you'll get the majority of the CO2 is going to find its way down to you. So how's everything going over here? You're having to hold your breath very, very hard when you're in this area, and I do appreciate the effort that you're going to. Well done, guys. Well done indeed. I would actually... Why didn't I do this before? Oh my lord. Build ourselves a little airlock, please. Because we're just letting oxygen go up there. What the dickens? What the actual dickens? Ooh, Science Man. Science Man is bad. Science Man, please go stop being massively upset. Because that is... Wow. And Otaku Comrade, you can go do it as well. There you go. That should bring down your stress levels very quickly. There we are. And all of that done as well. There you go. So we're good for water for quite some time. In fact, you know, I might even turn this into a contaminated water system that we could then pipe out of later on. But it looks like we're doing what we need. Hydrogen is getting moved down, and this is running at probably full capacity at this point. Right, the air scrubber requires a little bit of water, a little bit of carbon, sorry, it needs water, needs power, and then removes carbon dioxide out of it. The effect's minus one. I don't quite understand it. Why is it minus 300 carbon dioxide is the requirement, and then it just takes 100 of it out? Oh, it produces contaminated water. Right. Okay, yes. So that's fine. We just need to pipe that up. So, still a little bit odd, but oh well. From here, in fact, the output is contaminated water, which we would want to go straight up and across, and the input is clean water. So I could just have this as an enclosed system and then just top it up if necessary. That seems reasonable to me. Honestly, let's build that like this instead. There we go. And then have power hooked up to it as well. There we are. Let's make this a reasonably high priority. I want that done very quickly. Go, go, go. And then we can get rid of all the CO2 that's just bottling up in there. As for this area, yeah, we're good for water down there for quite some time. But we do need to make an area which actually processes the water and then sends it to the system. To the pure water area rather than anything else. How's things going? Things are going okay. There's going to be enough hydrogen up here for a long while, I imagine. Just make sure that's all that's being sent. Yeah, it's all that's being sent. We've got loads of morbs. We are going to want to help them connect with the chlorine pockets. But I don't see any puffs. And that's really quite upsetting. Puffs are amazing because they're basically continual sources of slime. You never run out of the slime with puffs. As long as you've got contaminated oxygen, which is easy enough to ensure. Alright, let's have a look at how this is working. We're getting some of the fresh water is going this way. There we go. And then some contaminated water is going back up. Perfect. Actually, let's have a look at how much is moving up. How much is that? Contents, you going to tell me? Yeah, 1,000 grams of contaminated water. Yeah, well. That's not too bad then. That'll just do its work for a little while. The water isn't leaving the system, which is the main thing. Right, okay, last chance. So we're going to see some amazing duplicant that I absolutely need to have. Interior decorator, no. Diver's lungs and yokel. 6 strength. Neil? Yes, okay. Neil is also going to be joining us. And Neil shall be Altrius. There we are, Altrius. Welcome to the colony. You are a bodybuilder. Altrius generally like to wear strange and unusual hats to compensate for their total lack of personality. Oh, I'm so sorry, Altrius. Wouldn't have read it if I realized that's what I was going to say. My lord. But there we go. That is the end of this episode. We've come a reasonable way. We've sorted out our immediate water problem. We've also got a decent amount of food in the colony. That is not a concern for us. And additionally, who's next highest? It would be Attacker Comrade. Yeah, Attacker Comrade, you get to go and chill out. Oh, actually, you're already on the massage table. Oh no, Science Man and Attacker Comrade really are the highest ones. But Sleepy Joe, you get to sleep there this time. We need a lot more rooms. 4 more rooms to be exact. And that's going to be the focus of the coming episodes. We could put some up there, but I'm not going to because that is honestly just a horrible thing to do. That being said, I could put the airlock here instead. So maybe it's a little bit more possible with that. But I think one of the things we're going to need to do is also to hook up and get this contaminated water down into perhaps either a cistern or just a bank of water purifiers, which will then pass that water on over here. I don't really think there's much reason to store contaminated water overall. Over here, we've got quite a lot of slime, so we could also set that up. So just so that our algae terrariums help out with the CO2 that's building up. But ultimately, if we really want to, we can just have CO2 scrubbers, and that will be fine. We also need to do a little bit of work on the decor around the base. As a general rule, we do want it to be a little bit higher. I'm not liking the fact that this has never really been used. But I think it might have been used once or twice, but generally speaking, they don't go there. They go over here. Maybe I need to get rid of these because this is producing fertilizer and compost, which I'm not using. We'll have a think of that in the next episode. But I do hope you've enjoyed this one and will be joining me for the next. As ever, remember to like if you liked and sub if you haven't. And I'm always happy to receive feedback down in the comment section below. But until next time, do take care of yourselves.